Why must you make your names difficult? Welcome back to PA's Perpetual Testing. If you'll look below at the description, you'll notice that the first map here is made by RL Club Sign BlastingCitter Trademark, or something to that effect. I have no idea I'm going to be doing that. Anyway, let's see here. Test chamber. I believe the name of this test chamber was Solve This.
All these science spheres are made of asbestos, by the way. Keeps out the rats. Let us know if you feel a shortness of breath, a persistent dry cough, or your heart stopping. Because that's not part of the test. That's asbestos.
Alright, if you say so. Now, immediately, this test is notable for being a bit, organization-based, I suppose. What is... Oh, I've seen this before. This was the Super Bounce Gel. I only ever saw that once before, but god, did I want to see more of it. So let's see here. We have the exit door, and that's... okay, that's it. But now I suppose that's just an introduction to the Super Bounce Gel and where it's located and what it can do. So, now we're going to be doing more with it. Perfect. Oh, I love this stuff. So, we have a laser cube immediately, and we're going to have to be doing what? We're going to have to get out through that door over there, activated by... Oh no, the Emancipation Grid is activated by what's over there. Is it? Unless, no. That will activate the door, and that will deactivate the Emancipation Grid, so I have to create some sort of reorganization for the laser with this cube, but I also have a laser active there that will dispense what? Something. Anyway, what I'm going to have to do is, right over here, redirect the... Oh, my blue portal's off-center, that's why. That would do it. Okay, now that should move... No, not over there. Over there. That should move it a bit further towards the wall, and then just go ahead and activate that, which should... It's too high? Can I lower it at all? There we go, okay. Then I can bounce up here, but the bounce gel is only one direction, it appears. So I won't actually be able to do much with it in that regard. Okay, so I need to get up there first, so I'm going to place my blue portal there and my orange portal here, and then I'm just going to be jumping through here. Now, once I'm up to this location, I should actually be able to place my blue portal there and my orange portal there once more to deactivate this grid. Then I'm going to need to place my... Which one is receiving the... My blue portal is receiving the laser, so I'm going to have to place my orange portal here. Yeah, and that'll dispense the cube that I need to place on this button to open, what, 2 portalable surfaces. Good, exactly what I need. So blue portal there and orange portal... Come on. There. Perfect, that allows me to do what? I can place a portal up there, my blue portal, which is going to be able to get through before the Emancipation Field reactivates. And then, what is this? Just a room with a light? Yeah, it looks like it. So, what else do we have? This test chamber is actually quite well organized, and... You little shit, I thought I was about to die. This is the actual exit?
Lab boys say the symptoms of asbestos poisoning show a median latency of 44.6 years. So if you're 30 or older, you're laughing. Worst case scenario, you miss out on a few rounds of canasta. Plus, you forwarded the cause of science by 3 centuries. I punch those numbers into my calculator, it makes a happy face.
Alrighty. So, actually, that was... good. Quite good. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't expect much after your name. Usually, the more weird names and tags and symbols you have in your name, the less I expect of you. However, this was quite good, and you got to show me the Super Bounce Gel again, which appears to actually just be a reskinned Faith Plate. So, a bit disappointing to learn, but hey, it works, I guess. That said, one of the things that I liked about this test chamber was the fact that he kept doing the misdirection thing. It makes the test chamber... I cannot speak at all, evidently. Gonna need to get some water or something after this. It makes the test chamber feel a lot more organic, a lot more interesting when there are actual things that you don't expect. Because often you'll just get a blank, static test chamber set before you, And while those are good to solve, and they're usually quite good for puzzles, you don't often get that sense of, I don't know, wonderment, adventure, something to that effect. Not wonderment, I didn't really wonder much at this, but adventure, I suppose, would be the right word to use. When the test chamber moves and evolves around you, that's what starts to make things feel interesting. That was actually one of the key points of the game itself, was that you were moving through a facility where someone was doing things around you pretty much all the time. There was very little that was not being done. Whereas, I don't know, that was actually, now that I think about it, one of the differences between, I'm going off on a complete tangent now, test chambers are over. If you're just here for the test chambers, have a good one, see you tomorrow. Otherwise, just a little note that I just thought of. One of the biggest things that was different in the main storyline of Portal 2, you eventually drop... By the way, if you haven't played Portal 2 for some reason, here are some spoilers for you. You drop into the bowels of the earth at one point to go to Old Aperture, which is where all this past stuff comes from. However, when you drop into Old Aperture, you're completing all the old test chambers that have been there, with only Cave Johnson there, and you feel very much like you're going through these test chambers after the fact. And this is kind of emphasized by the fact that nothing happens to these test chambers while you're in them. They're left as they are, and you're solving them as they were. Whereas in the test chambers up above with Wheatley and GLaDOS, when they're there will often be changes, or they will be talking to you, or there will be something that they're introducing, changing, or influencing in some way, shape, or form. Whether it be the introduction of the cubes, the stupid cubes that Wheatley makes, or it's the introduction of properly structured test chambers by GLaDOS, or it's the repairing test chambers, or it's the things that Wheatley is making to try to create his own test chamber, or it's the merging of the ones from before. There's always something being changed or something new. And that's kind of what this felt like, which is a bit weird now that I think about it, because this is the style of the constantly changing new test chambers built into the visual style of the old test chambers. I almost feel like, while we all love Cave Johnson and his quotes, the guy who did the voice work for him absolutely nailed it, I feel like this would have been better served as a present-day map, with GLaDOS voice quotes, if you can manage it. If that's not possible, then ignore that, but I'm not sure that you could have built old-style maps in the normal Perpetual Testing initiative, which makes me think that this was some other form of modding tool that may have allowed you to put GLaDOS voice lines in instead. I realize that a lot of people are saying that GLaDOS is played out, and you'd kind of be right. Everybody has beaten that villain to death over the course of the past couple of years after she obtained massive popularity through the first game. But, with that said, I don't know. I feel like this would have been... This more fits the style, the gameplay style of the new test chambers. Anyway, I think that is going to be it for today's episode. Bit of a shorter map lately. All the maps lately have been a little bit shorter. I haven't really encountered any that have kept me really guessing, but they've all been really well made. Gotta say, the B-mod, whatever it was, whoever made it, I think it was extended modification tools for the actual Perpetual Testing initiative. So were I ever to try to create a map now with the B-mod installed, I would have extra tools, and the superfluous tools, the redundant tools, they would be removed. Or at least that's what I read. And supposedly, this tool was created for the creation of a single custom map. Or at least that's what the website I downloaded it from said. And of course it was being used for other people who all wanted to be able to do the same thing themselves. But I'm wondering where that map is. I'm wondering how it's going. Maybe one day I'll find it. Find the map that created the B-mod. See what all the fuss was about. Until then though, this has been PA, and I'll see you all tomorrow for another episode of Perpetual Testing. Bye!